How are you feeling? All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. So I'm just your host. I'm just bringing on this amazing leader. Now, okay, sorry, my name is Catherine, also known as the Glow Coach, and I'm super excited to bring on this amazing leader. He is a former paratrooper. He's from the Bronx. He's a leader, a mentor, a speaker, down to earth, and has a lot of knowledge. He's also known as the Millionaire Mentor. Mr. Jason L. Scott the First, are you here? Are you on the line? Let's see. Okay, maybe he's still doing a few more things on the back end, so we'll just wait a few more minutes. Pamela Butler's feeling grateful. Awesome. Grateful. Excellent, excellent. All right, so just a few more minutes and then we'll be getting started shortly. Make sure you have your pen and piece of paper so that we could be taking down all those lovely notes. Okay, and once again, just keep sending out those messages if you haven't already. Just reminding our team members that we're going to be getting started shortly. Okay, Rebecca, feeling good even though tonight has been a rush. Life, eh? Life will try to trip you up. Yep, yep. A lot of twists and turns. Just got to stay ready so that you'll be ready. Go with the flow. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Stay ready, stay ready. Yeah.
There we go. Yo, I was over here like I'm trying to unmute. I've been on the line, guys. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure your mics are muted. Peggy, I think your mic is open. Please mute your mics out. Thanks a lot, guys. Listen. Coach Catherine, amazing job as well. I told you I'm traveling, so normally I'll have my. Let me see if my let me just double check. Oh, Nelly, I do got it. My little light right here, right? I like to always carry my light so I can actually get a little more shine when I'm absolutely doing this call. So let me see if I can somehow plug this thing in to give me a little bit more light, a little bit, just a little bit here. Give me a second here while I figure this thing out. Anyway, guys, I'm actually mobile right now. I'm actually traveling right now, but I wanted to make sure I was able to pop on. I know, looking like I got the light coming from the bottom, like we in the forest, like understand it's Halloween. I know, but we're gonna make this thing work the best way we can make it work because that's what we do. Coach Catherine said one of the things about this thing is, guys, when you actually in this place where you put yourself around in your mindset that I'm already ready. I'm already ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. No matter what shows up, you just got to say, I am ready. Matter of fact, a lady. We call it, her name is a lady, but I know a lot of you guys looking at her name right now going, a lady. That's what I used to do. A lady, but it's a lady, right? A lady did an absolute fantastic job. Put your hands together for Miss Elady, as she absolutely did an amazing job on the call. Now, just so you guys know, when I hit her up, I'm mobile, right? And I'm gonna have a conversation today because several of the things that I was gonna talk about, one I was gonna talk about today about how to do a presentation. Because I know a lot of times we overthink it. We think that there's a lot of stuff involved with it. We all do, not just you guys. We all do. We all can be in this space, and we always get ready, and we're never ready until we do the call. I don't care how many times you ready, you practice it, whatever. You be on a million calls until you are called. Until you are called, you think you're ready. Oh no, I'll study. No, I know, but until you go live, that's when all bets are off, and you have to just trust your instincts. And Miss Young Lady did an amazing job in that process, just jumping out there. Now, let me give you guys something about that. This thing that we do when it comes to business is really about taking leadership, taking ownership. Write that down. Take ownership. I need people to take ownership of this business being their business, not my business. Not Mr. Scott is this. Now we're partners in this process. Now, this is the thing. Many of us were starting all over at the same time. When I was in this company, when I left the company before, I left the company as a global director. When I left the company, coming back to the company, I'm starting back from the bottom myself, right? When I came back, I could have grabbed a position. I could have got the old position that I had and started out and be in that same position. But where I was at, it wasn't where I wanted to be at and stuff. So I said I'll start from the very bottom and start a whole new account. And because I had resigned from the company for a couple of years, and when I came back, I started from the bottom. So a lot of us are starting at the same time. Now I say that because I talk with a level of authority based off of just life experiences and stuff, and based on the fact that I used to exist in my imagination of what can happen for people in this opportunities in life and in business. And then I went from the existence of my imagination to reality, having quantifiable evidence that the things that we teach, the things that we talk about can absolutely get done. Let me see if I can somehow put this thing up some type of way here. It can absolutely get done. You can absolutely change your entire life economically, financially, everything else, right? So when I'm talking to you guys, I talk from a level of certainty. And my level of certainty is attached to the fact that I know for a fact that this business works. I know for a fact that when people plug in, they can have results. I know it's not something that used to happen. I know some people are saying it ain't the same, it's different, all this other stuff people are saying, right? I showed you guys literally, sometimes when I did presentations, I would show you guys as a national director, because I got a bunch more, but I saved one up that was on my phone because my goal when I came back was to get myself back to national pretty quickly or whatever and stuff. Even though I was setting the goals, it wasn't coming out exactly the way I was planning. So I reset the goals again. I never go, man, it just ain't working. No, because I know that it just takes time. I'm saying, and as time goes on, you'll start to reveal things start to come together, but you have to stay in a knowing while time is going on. So when I joined back again, starting from the bottom, even though I wasn't hit my goals, I reset and keep going. Some of you guys have been looking for your saying, I'm gonna hit this goal, and you thinking it's not working, but it is. And when I kept showing you guys, like from my screen share that I have on my phone, that I was at 40 something thousand. Most I did was like 50,000 for a week in income. A lady posted yesterday that someone did the $14,000 for the week on that one day for running the smart ship. Now this still, I've been saying this to you guys. I've been telling you, opportunity is still the same for everybody. I've been telling you, my previous sponsor earned $50 million in the company, the same opportunity, same products, same everything else. All right, $50 million. So that means it's still open for everybody. But a lot of times, what we feel internally, if we feel we don't have the same connection, certain things don't happen, it can make you kind of feel deflated on the inside, and you may not be able to produce the same. I need you guys to erase anything from the past, anything that's holding you back, all doubts, all negativity. You have to exist in the plane of possibility. Write this down. New moment, new possibility. New moment, new possibility. As a coach, as the life coach, I coach, and my coaching method is attached to ontological coaching, right? I mean, it's teaching people to be present, to be aware of where they are, have a self-awareness of the moment, self-awareness of where you are, self-awareness of how you're feeling, always doing self-regulation, checking yourself out, how you're feeling, how to move forward. I've always been that way, like just double checking things for myself. But in ontology, you have to really pay attention to the moment, pay attention to where you are in the present, so you can control how you're feeling. Because we hear about attraction, the law of attraction, right? And people heard about that, the law of attraction. People heard it, people studied it, people have started hearing about the attraction. If you if you are a person that's from if you've been reading the Bible, if you're a person of religion, and your religion happen to be Christianity, and there may be other scriptures as well, but I know in the Bible it'll say as a man thinketh, and when you actually go to the church and you say it as a man thinketh, a lot of people will say, so is he, so is he, so is he, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's what they'll say. But what I've learned is this. It's not just that. It's not just as a man thinketh. It's what it is as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now the difference in how I internalize that. Again, I'm not talking to you from a religious standpoint, because I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual in how I'm connected to the universe, God, and everything else. How I'm connected. But I do understand that for those who follow that, that it's still this. It's still a reality. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does that mean? It means what you think about, you bring about. What you ask for, you shall receive. We've been hearing that is attached to attraction, but it's the thing about attraction. When it comes to attraction, the law of attraction is superseded by the law of vibration. Vibration is what you feel. The vibration. So before attraction comes vibration, and vibration is what you're feeling. So if you're not in a space of certainty and you're feeling doubt, you're not certain. So therefore, what you're attracting into your life is more uncertainty and more doubt. This stuff you can, after this call, you can study more, Google it, look at it. You can law of attraction, watch videos on it. You know what I'm saying? Frequency, all this other stuff. That's a real thing. Is because everything vibrates at a certain. There's a certain level. Everything in the universe vibrates. It's just what is. It's quantum physics states this stuff. This is everything on a quantum level that we're talking about, right? If you're a universe person, is a quantum level that everything vibrates on. I have to give you guys this because I need you guys to get ready for this next phase. This week, the last couple of weeks, leaders have been stepping up and showing you greatness. They've been showing you what happens when you just say yes. Hey guys, make sure your mics are muted, please. Someone who's a co-host under participants, you can click that. You can click under participants. You can see the people. You can mute them out. Also, under participants, you can actually click and it says mute. Like make can be able to have like people can mute on entry, things like that. I'm teaching you guys so you guys know how to work the back line. Now, the thing about this attraction, the reason why this is important, because I got to make sure that everybody's aligned emotionally. You don't have to always think that you have to study 1,000 times. They say when you do things 10,000 times or 10,000 hours, you become like a master in the thing. So the master thing, they say 10,000 hours inside. But I also understand that in this process of doing this thing, so when you do this thing, a certain amount of time, a ratio will appear. And I've been doing this thing for so many years that I know that a ratio appears and you start to recognize patterns. And in the process of recognizing patterns, I've always understood no matter what happens, the pattern is always the same for me and many other people. If you operate in a level of uncertainty, a level of doubt, a level of being timid, of being tentative, tentative has no power. And when you're tentative, you're vibrating in this world is weakness. And this is a universe that does not favor the timid. So we can't be tentative in our belief, tentative in our approach. We have to be certain about what we have our hands on. When you saw what a lady posted yesterday, that was certain that what I've been saying to you guys can happen for somebody. When I say we run a smart ship, I said there's a long-term game plan. And we do it in this space because in the long-term game plan, as time goes on, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you're going to add new people to the process. And as people are being added to the process and time is going on, you're going to find, guys, that now it's going to go from 3 people to 10 people to 30 people to 50 people to 60 to 100 people. And all it is internal and external. I've been saying internal consumption is all of us who are in the business. So we run our smart ship together. That gives us an opportunity to actually get paid for the time and the efforts and see how I do all these calls and I'll pull over. I got several things I'm working on at the same time, but I still make time at this moment. Everybody's doing things at the same time, but sometimes you still got to just say, let me make sure, because I can easily say, listen, guys, I'm traveling. I can't do it. We can't do the call again. Can let's cancel this next week? No, I do it because I recognize that there has to be a level of commitment and you have to be congruent. Internally, that means once you say you're going to do it, you have to do it. And externally, that means if you say you're going to put this thing out to the universe, you have to be consistent in this process. And I've learned a long time ago, Miss Rebecca, that a commitment to continuity, showing up, doing the same thing, being just right, a commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. When people are certain, they have a stability. They're not doubtful. That means when you calm, when you know what's happening, it lessens the level of anxiety when you know what's coming next. So when you have a commitment to continuity, that means you yourself commit to, if it's a call, I'm going to do it. Like a lady will say, hey, She'll say, hey, the call is happening. This was going to call. I'm about to post it. Are you going to do it? And I already, even now, listen, she's supposed to ask because you never know what's going to happen. I could be busy, but I say, if you had to make a guess, what you think it'll be? She'll be like, and then she'll just post it. She don't say, okay, I get it. She just posted. Now again, I still check. I appreciate her checking in because I could be doing like I'm doing right now, and I just may not, whatever. But the thing is this: that's me saying it because it makes me say yes. It keeps me on track, even if I know I got stuff going on and I want to go. Well, I really can't do it right now because it's easier to say no. It's easier to put it off. It's easier to find a reason not to do it. Even at 9 o'clock, I'm like, your mind will play tricks on you. It'll make you be like, oh, I can't do it. It's 9:02. That's late. I should just post in the chat that we not. No. A commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. The team has to be knowing that it's going to show up. They have to know somebody's going to be there. Somebody has to always know. I have to know that I'm going to be there. I have to trust that a commitment to the continuity produces emotional stability. It helps everybody some people, the thing is this, some people are going to be here, some are going to be there. Some are going to show up, some not going to show up. But no matter what they do, you do it. You always show up. You always be there. You always, so that the universe rewards your commitment to continuity. The universe will reward your stability. The fact that you are certain on the fact you have a game plan. You're certain that you have a plan. And as time go on, you're going to be adding people to the process. And as I always said, this is how we said we do 120 for the smart ship. Our smart ship run on the 10th of the month. She showed you how somebody makes 14,000. Imagine if you followed a commitment to continuity and in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, or even a year from now, you on a monthly basis, that one check for a fact is 14,000 for the month. Not counting the extra in between weeks, you may do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a week. That means you can easily do $20,000, $30,000 for a month in income. I'm not telling you what I think it, or I thunk it. Can I say thunk? I'm gonna say okay. Thunk it. I said I thunk it myself. I know that it works. So I want you guys to understand, guys, that I want you to commit to the commitment. Commit to being committed for yourself, not for me. Commit to saying I'm gonna show up for the organization. I'm gonna show up for the group. I'm gonna show up for the team. But I'm going to lead in that process. Once you take ownership and you do it, something magical happens on the inside. You can't tell me a lady don't feel so much more empowered. I know for a fact she does. Coach Catherine, when she did the call last week, she was so much more empowered. It's a fact of the matter. It just empowers you when you just step up. It just does. And the thing is this, everybody always think they have to know, but you just have to know that you will be resourceful. Am I making sense? Because before I go into everything else, I need everybody to I want our energies to align in this moment because you witness Coach AB stepping up, you witness Coach Catherine stepping up. And I say Coach, that's how they call themselves. You witness Elady stepping up, Miss Lopez stepping up. You witness me stepping up. You witness Rebecca, other leaders just stepping up and standing out. Other people speak, even when you're speaking, that's stepping up. But you're seeing people taking ownership, saying yes to ownership, even though you could be nervous, you can have fear. Fear is having you see courage is you can have fear, but you got to still do it anyway. And I got to make sure I say that, guys, because this next phase, as we go into next week, when we get to the 10th of the month, that week is going to be the biggest week that we can have. And that can happen every month. Every month, no matter what happens, that week of the 10th, you have enough to get to run your smart ship. You have enough to run smart ship for next month, to pay a bill. Because you get $14,000. You can pay your rent, you can pay your mortgage, you can pay your car note, you can do a bunch of other stuff, and then you can buy more products, and you can reinvest back into your business. But it starts off with you may not get that at first. You're just getting the products at first on your smart ship. And with your products at first, you're using it for your testimonials, your own personal testimonial. Then your testimonials, that gives you a level of belief and certainty that the products do what they do. Even if you ain't having the results of everybody else, you just know that for a fact you're cleansing because if you're pooping, you know for a fact your system is being cleansed. If you pooping and peeing, It just it's with no time to no. I ain't got no time to play with you guys tonight. If you pooping it, because when you detoxing, your kidneys is detoxing. When you using the restroom, you're let me get in and put the quotes. Urinating. All right, if that's what you feel better with the word, but if that's what you feel comfortable with, when you're doing that, you're doing it excessively. That means your system is cleansing itself. That's one way we detox that way, and we detox when we poop. So when you're doing that and you're doing it regular, that means that the product is working. Regardless if you're losing weight or not, that's irrelevant. It's still working. Now, if you're using some of the other products like control and you're curbing your appetite, you don't feel you sometimes you feel yourself forgetting to eat, then you know that's working. These things allow you to have a level of certainty when you're using the product. So when Smart Ship comes on the 10th, I know some of you guys you've been hearing it, but you still may have it. Well, mine's set for the 9th and the 7th. I get it. And the 23rd, I understand. I'm asking everybody to get in alignment on the 10th because there's a long-term game plan that she posted somebody else's situation because they was doing exactly what I kept saying, everybody. There's a long-term game plan because we have a long-term investment. If you think about it as an investor, you put money into stocks over time, and as over time it starts to yield dividends and stuff. But it takes time that you put money into stocks, and the more you put in, the more dividends you get. The same thing with us as time go on, we're investing into the products, investing into people. It pays out. The third way is a big way. The residuals is a big way. The residuals can keep growing for the life, and it can keep growing because again, the smart ship is just one way. On top of the smart ships, you got customer orders coming in. A bunch of things that happen during that. People are joining and people are buying kits. And so it's a variety of things that's happening simultaneously. But I need to make sure you guys understand. I need everybody in alignment. Now I say that to you first. All right. The second thing about that alignment is knowing that when you know that that's running, I need everybody to start being ready to present. You have to take ownership. Something changes in you when you do it, and you take ownership. And you say, "I'm going to do the call." You don't always have to. You're not going to always be prepared for what's happening. Like Coach Catherine, I'll meet your mic real quick. And many of you guys have seen me do 3 ways and different calls. We did a call with a gentleman a couple of days ago, right? You had it planned. He was saying he's going to do all this other stuff. He's really serious about the business. By the time we get on the call, Coach Catherine, like, I can see her. She like, what's going on with this? So tell her, give like explanation of how, what your perception, what the call was, what your perception was, but also how, when you listened to me at first before you knew what I was doing, how in your mindset you was like, yo, he really rocking this thing. And then at the end, tell them how I showed you how I got to that.
Okay, thanks, Coach Jason. Okay, so great evening, everyone. So I had a call with someone. He said he was interested in doing the business. When I spoke to him, he was on a tangent about this and that. He was all over the place. At the end of the day, and within myself, I was saying, you know what? I don't think he's serious. But then he contacted me again and he's like, no, okay, sorry. During the conversation at the end, he's like, you know what? Let me know about this money situation. I want to know more about it. He kept talking about Herbalife and all other types of businesses. So in the end, he was like, okay, yes, tell me about the money aspect. I said, okay, let me just link you with Coach Jason. So he was like, okay, I'm game, all game, whatever. I still wasn't really taking him on because the vibe was kind of funny. Couple days left and he contacted me and he's like, okay, I'm still interested. I want to speak to, I want to do the three-way call. So I said, okay, set up the three-way call. Uh, okay, so um, to keep it short, he started talking about he wants us or somebody to invest in bringing the products to him where he was in Suriname so that he can start the business. And I was like, what is going on? And then he was like telling me, oh, because when it comes to this type of business, it could only work a certain way. And if it's not set up right. So he went on a tangent. So then Coach Jason was like, did you listen to anything concerning the presentation? And he was like, well, I didn't really take it on because I just felt like it was just like a regular, the regular systems like Herbalife or whatever, whatever. So I didn't really study it too much. So I was just like, Started to feel hot, to tell you the truth. I was very embarrassed because I was like, what is going on? I felt like this man just threw me under the bus. I sent him everything, I presented to him, and he was telling me he was interested. Then Coach Jason was like, okay, so if you want to have this up and running, then what you need to do is you need to invest. You find the investors, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go forward. And then Coach Jason was like, um, well, I understand that in Suriname, the healthcare system, blah, 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 and it'll be very important for you to, start getting the products, pushed into Suriname so that you can help the people. And he just went on a tangent. I'm saying like regular words. Coach Jason was like, so, I'm very professional and da, 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 da. And he's like, I can't even put it together in words, but I was just like on the call, like, am I here? This man's talking about investment and political this and that. And Coach Jason is just like, well, yeah, because in Suriname, we need to be bringing in, and he just went on like on a different level. I was like, my head was like, what is happening here? So then after Coach Jason was like, okay, you know what? Thanks for your time. Since we're talking about investments, you go ahead, bring the investments to the table, and then we'll go from there. Okay, thanks for coming. Shut it down. I was like, oh. So then after the call, Coach Jason was looking at me, and I was like, my head was down, like, what is going on? Like, I couldn't believe what just happened here. And then Coach Jason said, don't worry, this was your time. This was your time to learn. And then he was asking me what I got out of it. And I said, what I got was that you, Coach Jason, just brought it back to him and said, you know what? This is what you can do. This is what the tip that you're on. Like in the first place, Coach Jason was saying that he wasn't serious, right? And then he just threw it right back to him to say, okay, well, if you're really about that business and investment, well, you invest, you bring on the investment. So he just brought it back to him. And at the same time, Coach Jason was like, okay, so sometimes you feel as if I have like everything, T's crossed, I's dotted. I know all the answers. But then Coach Jason said, and I noticed he was looking down at a certain time, but I didn't even think much of it. So Coach Jason was, while during the presentation, the man was speaking and Mr. Scott was like looking down. But what he told me was he was like typing in Suriname challenges with the health care system in Suriname. So he came up with, he Googled. So he got all the information here. So he's like, got all the information. And then when it was time for Coach Jason to speak, Coach Jason was like, you know how he is, like, and he's like all serious, and he just like dropping facts, 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 facts. So bottom line was Coach Jason was saying, okay, you know what? You don't have to know all the information, but when it's time to come back or come back with an answer, take out your phone, do the research, and just give it right back to them, to the person. So basically at the end, the man was I mean, he was surprised. He was surprised, and basically he left with having to think, oh, wait a minute. If I'm serious, I have to come back a certain way.
Young lady,
Yeah.
listen, I appreciate you for just sharing that. And I wanted to share it with this guy because of this. All the basics of the story is this. When I got on the call, it wasn't what we thought the call was going to be. Now, if I would have let myself be in "Oh, I wasn't ready for this, I would panic and then I would fall. No, but as a leader, I know I have to be an authority figure. I know that I was testing two things. I said, let me test to see if this guy really knows what he's talking about. So I started throwing out additional words and other things at another level. And then when I recognized that he was like, it kind of was stumbling him up a little bit. Then I took authoritative state. Then I started giving him I said, this is what's going on. This is facts over here. This was going on over here. Now you go check this out. You get back with us. And I said, Catherine, I said, I did all of that. She said, I hate that I wasted your time. I said, no, I said, I could have been into the call. I said, since we had that call scheduled, I need leaders to trust themselves and know that you have access to information all the time. Stop always thinking that you got to know everything. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about at first. I just Googled some stuff and then I started seeing because I know we're in healthcare, so I can Google healthcare stuff. I know we talking about how we can help challenges. I started Googling challenges in Suriname. So now I'm dropping names and numbers, and I'm like, and then I'm using words and stuff. I'm like, yeah, because I understand that in the system and the healthcare system, I'm dropping all these other things, and he's like, and I can see now the guy's trying to really think this stuff through. And then by the time I was finished, he's like, okay, I'm on it right now. I'm on it right now. But I only say to you guys that the lesson was for you to understand this. Write this down. There's going to have to be a radical imbalance. You're going to always have a radical imbalance. And when that radical imbalance happens, that's when you can start to have a breakthrough. Now, the thing about that is this, right? And let me, because I was trying to get myself together for some things. Let me see if I can find some things. I want to kind of mention this right here, right? Now, about the radical imbalance, because I know I have to pull over. I said, if I don't write some stuff down on it, I'll be lost and I'll be all over the place. But the thing about the imbalance is this, and I would teach it this way a lot of times. I would say balance is knowing that you're going to always be imbalanced. Write that down. Balance is knowing you're going to be imbalanced. Balance is knowing you're going to always be that, not imbalance. That means imbalance. Write that down, lady. Because a lot of times people like to say, well, I just got to find balance. Well, the balance is knowing that there's going to always be an imbalance. That gives you balance. Because now you know. Like when I had the call, I knew that Coach Catherine was looking for it to be balanced a certain way. When she was imbalanced in the call, she was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" But I recognized it was imbalanced, but that gave me balance. I'm like, okay, long as I know I can still have conversation. I already see he's not serious. Let me go ahead and give her some additional ways so she can just trust in herself. Then at the end, I said, let me show you where I got information from, so you can learn to just trust yourself. Just trust that you always have access to information. If you have access to me, access to other people, you don't have to know it all. Your guests don't know what they don't know nothing. They don't know it. You just got to know it. That's why I said when it comes to these presentations, I need you guys to understand that in order for you to really get to this next level of growth, you're gonna have to understand that balance is for maintenance. All right, write that down. Balance is for maintenance. When you get to a balanced space, that's for maintenance, and you can, because every time we feel things is okay, we kind of just be flowing. We okay, life is good, life is okay. I'm getting by. We just kind of, because balance is for maintenance. Imbalance is for breakthroughs. If you want to have a breakthrough, it's gonna like that. Like trust me, when a lady did the call today, that was the imbalance, but that also was a breakthrough for her. I'm saying it was an imbalance. She was like, I'm like, what you doing? But hey, lady, what's going on, lady? How's things going? She said, yeah, I'm over here right now. Everything is, I'm about to do this. I got the kids. I see you out and about or you at home? She's like, I'm at home right now. I'm like, okay, great. I need to do the call. She's like, huh? I said, yeah. I just do the presentation, get stuff together. You're gonna do the presentation here in a few minutes. And she's like, okay, all right, okay. But she's like, okay. I can tell she's asking herself. She's like, okay, all right. I said, okay, yeah, you're gonna do the call. I said, you'll be okay. So go ahead and get stuff together. She's like, okay, I was about to get in the shower, so I said, yes, go ahead, because now I know she's in the shower. She can't think. She probably just standing in the water, like with the water just. She probably thought she took a shower. But I'm sure she probably was just like with the water just hitting all because she can overthink stuff. And I kept leaving a voice note. Don't overthink it. You'll be okay. Like I talked to you, Rebecca, right? Like, don't overthink it. You'll be okay. Don't worry about it. I talk to everybody the same way because I know the first thing we always try to do is we start thinking so much that we'll get ourselves to a level of fear and doubt and uncertainty. And then what if I mess up? Mess up what? Mess up what? Your story, you can't mess up telling your story because your story is your story. You can't mess up talking about the products because however you want to explain it, that you've been explaining it, just explain it. There ain't no, after you do a thing, you'll recognize how you did it. The next time you do it, you go, oh yeah, I forgot to say this. Next time I say this. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Next time I mention this. In the very beginning, you're not gonna, you're gonna just say what comes up. And you have to trust that that's going to be enough. You know how I know? Because by the time she finished, inside the chat, somebody was like, my guest was on the call and they loved it. Now, lady was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I messed up. I know I'm like, nobody care about that. They don't even hear that. They hear your story. They're not paying attention. We always think that I gotta do it the way Mr. Scott does. I gotta do it the way AB. No, do it the way you do it. The way you do it is how people who get on the call, they will hear it the way you do it. But the reason why I'm saying, because I need you guys to start doing presentations. When you take ownership of doing you may voice, I'm not balanced yet. No, the breakthrough's gonna happen when you're imbalanced. Get the presentation and just be ready to tell somebody meet me on Zoom and just go through it. You don't have to, you even whether you have the presentation, like I think a lady was doing it and the presentation didn't show up, and some people like the presentation, you can't see it. It don't matter. 9,999 times I did the calls, there was no presentation. We just happened to have one. But for most of the years I was doing it, we didn't have one. So we were just showing up products and just talking the numbers, and people were still joining. But if you let yourself believe that it ain't gonna work unless I have the presentation in front of me, then you're talking yourself into a lie, because it will work, even if you don't have the presentation. Because the presentation is just they may see the visuals, but it's just the conversation. If you paint the conversation with a story, normally their imagination takes over, because before we had videos and lives, our presentation was just over the phones. You do remember that, right, Rebecca? When we first doing presentation in network marketing, there wasn't no video presentation, it wasn't no phone. It was people on a phone call. People were just on a phone call. You're hearing the whole presentation on a phone call. No video, no sharing a live, no nothing, no watch me as I, no, let me show it to you. We were just talking about stuff on a phone call. So, and millions of people join companies off of a phone call. And I'm doing it this way because in case you guys don't know what this means, this how we for all of a Gen X and things like that, this meant phone for us, right? I know some of you guys that means cowabunga. No, this is Gen X. It meant phone. All right. when you put somebody Gen X and Gen Z side by side, you say, "What's a phone sign?" We be like this. They may just put their hand up. You know what I'm saying? Put like holding a hand, like while they gripping a phone. Cause there's no need, or they go like this exactly. They go, but they normally just looking at the phone like this and talking on speakerphone, most of them. They're not even holding it to their ear most of the time. But they either go like this, but we be like this. So the thing is this, it's just a phone call. And as long as you know that, you don't have to worry about what they see. So that will eliminate in your mindset you going, well, they can't see the presentation. Because if I'm in the car doing the presentation, I'm not going to share the screen, because I don't like sharing it from my phone, because I'm not good at that stuff. So I don't even try to play with it. So Gen X shows when I start trying to use technology in a way that's not designed for me. You got me? I'm already not a technical person, so Gen X you can tell, he's a Gen X, because I just get stuck on certain things. But the thing is this, I'm okay with it. People still join, people still buy, and I need you to do the same thing. Don't get stuck. But write this down. When it comes to that, when it comes to the fact we was talking about this radical, I'm sorry, I might have, I see the police riding around. The sheriff, they probably wonder what I'm doing in this corner over here. When they have this radical imbalance, number one, focus, write this down. Focus creates acceleration. Focus creates acceleration. When you put your time and your energy into this priority that you gotta have to present, you have to get this skill, this goal, this mission, to be a team leader, be a team player, to present. That whole thing that I talked to you guys about when it talks about balance is for maintenance. The imbalance is going to be for breakthrough. Your breakthrough is going to happen. If you want your success to happen and accelerate, you want this team to explode on another level. You want more voices to be heard other than just my voice. Just like many of you guys, I could have easily said, hey, can somebody do a call today? Any of you guys could just did the call. Anybody, even this training call right now, all you have to do is train on something that you trained on before. If you got 5 steps, 6 keys, anything I've given you before, you can train on it. Just look at the point and just talk about it the way you remember it, the way it comes off to you. But I need everybody to get to the point to where they really trust themselves in the space. You guys with me? So focus is going to create that acceleration. And I need people to be focused in on being this team leader, team player. As we go into this next week, when we run the smart ships, guys, close out this week, going to next week, I need everybody. We're gonna have more products because this smart ship week, I want you guys to purchase products for yourselves, get yourselves ready for this next space. That means once you buy the products, you gotta be willing to sell the products. So this next space that we're gonna be in, I need you guys presenting. I need you talking to more people about the products, having conversations and meeting people. All right. Because if you have a purpose, write this down too. Purpose is going to justify your imbalance. Your purpose will justify your imbalance. Write that down. Focus creates acceleration. And then, of course, your purpose is going to justify. It's going to justify the imbalance. If you got a purpose, it'll give you reason to say, I'm going to do this. When I was talking to a lady, she's like, well, I got my children. And you guys heard, she said she told you her story while she was on the call. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a purpose and a reason why. You got to be willing. If you say this is my why, then why are you not doing the things that's necessary? If it's your why, get up and do what you got to do. Even if all the stuff I'm doing right now, like, okay, I spent the last few years focused in on being a caregiver, doing all this other stuff, resigning from a lot of things that I had, a lot of business that I had going on, I stopped. So now that I'm back into this game, it's like I have to jumpstart a lot of new things as well. And there's been a hard imbalance because to go through this cancer stuff, you're gonna easily spend 300, 400, 500. You can spend $500,000 or more. You can literally all your life insurance, your 401ks, cashing out things, all your bank account, all the things that you in your mindset you was prepared for other stuff. When it comes to some of these, and this ain't just cancer, it can be anything somebody's going through, come to a health situation. It can blow everything out. And if it does, what are you going to do? And for me, when it did that for me, it has to create this radical imbalance. That means I'm willing to do things that, like, how people say I'm willing to do whatever it takes to feed my family, but people say they say, but they don't. Like, I'm out right now. I'm someplace away from the house. You know why? Because not only did I start doing this again, I started other business. I've already had other things going on, but I said, you know what? I was doing this other stuff. Let me jump back into something practical. Let me jump back into practical mode. So I started a medical transport company. I'm sorry, a courier company. So I can be able to pick up organs and this, all because they can pay 300, 400, 200. I'm looking for things that can help me to have a quantum leap economically, financially. Put me in a space because I can't just nickel and dime with $5 and $10. So I have to do things in a big way. So that means I'm willing to do things that most people not willing to do. I'm willing to do things in a way that the thing is this, but there's a lot of things that's out there that people can do. But for me, it's a radical imbalance that I have. I'm doing that. I'm doing TLC. I'm coaching. I'm mentoring. I'm doing all the things that I got to do, but I'm still making sure that but my purpose, my goals, and the thing about about even with the multiple streams, I tell people when you have multiple streams is having streams of income and not trickles. And unfortunately, a lot of times people they'll have 10 things they're doing and they make $20 over here, $10 over here, $10 over here. When if you did one thing, you could have made more money in that right there. But for me, this all ties in the same. The reason why I do this is because this gives me opportunity to be talking to other professionals as I'm out and about and I'm meeting people. I ain't just do this just to do this. I do it strategically. Let me find ways that I can meet more people, that I can talk to people. So every time I'm talking to other people, I'm talking to other doctors or other people, I'm talking from a level of entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what I got going. I'm the CEO of this. I own this. I'm talking at another level. Even though they may see me at first, they may think I'm just this, but when I start to communicate, they're like, listen, we definitely let's communicate. Let me know next time you guys having if there's anything you guys got networking events, whatever. And I got my card where I'm like, give me your phone, and I put my card on the phone. My information pops up. I don't even give them a physical card. I just put the phone on because that's the type of card that I got. Got one of those cards that's a digital card. Tap their phone and it comes up. I'm doing that. All this stuff is purpose, so I can get customers, so I can find partners because it's aligned with healthcare. Exactly right. Got me. I'm in that space already. So therefore, I said, let me find things that I can do in that space. Now, I'm only saying to you guys because some of you guys may have a job, and it may be causing you to have a, and you maybe feel like it was, I'm trying to find, it's a hard time trying to find the balance of doing this right here. Well, if you have a purpose, you will make it purposeful. You'll still be out and still connecting with people. You'll still make it a reason why when you're going to work, not just going, man, I got to go to this job again. No, I'm going out purposely knowing that with the intention that I'm going to attract the right people, that I'm going to find the right people, because your purpose has to justify the imbalance that you feel that you have in your life right now. And when you have that purpose, it will justify it. And I want you to have a purpose-driven life, not just showing up and seeing, just being on these calls to be here. You're on this call to do what? To learn. This is Leadership Academy. Like I said, our organization has been Unity for almost 25 years. That's Unity. You and I together, yes. That's that. Even when I started again, I started to say Unity. And I still, you guys been hearing the word still Unity. You and I together, yes. That's my organization has been for years. When I started this next phase, I said Leadership Academy because I wanted to train people get ready back into this leadership mode, but we doing it in Unity still. But I want you to know, if it's an academy, you got to come willing, just like you go into the police academy to train, so you can better what you train for, you train for the real world. What you're training here, you're training for the real world. So all the stuff that we give to you here is training for the real world. Am I making sense? So I'm asking that today, when you know that you have to have three, a short-term imbalance, write that down. Three, you're going to have a short-term imbalance for a long-term balance. Be okay with having short-term imbalance. Short-term is, well, I'm trying to, Scott, I got my job and I got my kids and I got this. I know we all do. We all got a bunch of stuff. We all got a bunch of stuff. Trust me, listen, when everybody's at the end of their own situation, it seems like it's the worst thing in the world, but it's what it is. And sometimes we get so caught up in our own stuff that we can't wait for somebody to say how bad they're doing, so we can go, you think you got it bad? Let me tell you about me. We can't wait to tell how bad our stories are so we can compete with how bad off somebody is. And I want to make sure that everybody recognizes, man, I don't want to compete with that. I want to make sure that you understand your short-term imbalance is so that you can have long-term balance later. Now you get the money out the way. Now you can go. Now we're going to work unbalanced for a while, get things in place. If you're in business, get your business where you generate revenue for the business. You can invest in other stuff. I do this so I can invest, so I can make money to take care of other things. I got a lot of stuff to catch back up from. So my imbalance is part of my purpose. I'm not letting myself, well, how can I? I'm pulling on the side of the road. No, I'm still going to do what's necessary. Because number 4, the awareness of it will prevent burnout. Write that down. The awareness will prevent burnout. When you're aware that you have in this imbalance and you go, oh, no, it's what it is. It ain't no, well, it's last second. It is what it is. Miss Scott said, pop on the call, I popped on. It's be ready and willing to take it on. Be ready and just, because once you're aware of it, it ain't no burnout from it because you're already expecting it. Because if you keep going through this imbalance, man, it's just I just can't, it's just so much I just can't figure out. No, your awareness of, okay, I'll accept it. I'll accept it for what it is. Okay, let me, like, matter of fact, Rebecca, you yourself, you did that yourself yesterday, right? You text me, you said one thing, then you like, you know what, I'm gonna do this anyway. Because for a moment, the imbalance had you into that space, you were like, then as you check yourself, you were like, no, no, let me find balance in this imbalance. And by the time I was about to respond to you, you like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm like, I was about to leave the voice note to say the same thing. You found it inside because it's already inside you. So what I'm training on tonight is the same thing. And I want everybody, guys, because this next phase that we're going to go into, volume coming, people ranking up, products coming, we have to be willing to work to sell the products, get customers. The volume we get, we put that back in. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen, but it's going to require people doing presentations. And until you start to present on your own, you're not going to take ownership. You're going to keep waiting for somebody else. You can do a presentation with just one person, two people. You and like me and Catherine on the call, me and that person. I've done a presentation with many of you guys. That's 2-on-1. Just be willing to present. Had a call last week, me and said, and a couple of his people on the call. And we both just talk about this person. We just doing it because you got to do it, and your people got to see you doing it, and your people got to start to do it. Because the last thing is, write this down, because your radical imbalance is going to attract radical results. Your radical imbalance will attract radical results. Because this world, it rewards those who's willing to do the things that most people won't do or unwilling to do. And a lot of times people, they're obsessed with mastery and all this other stuff. But you have to understand that to be extraordinary, you just got to do, you just have to, you got people, most people are going to be ordinary. You got to be willing to be extra. Then mean more than ordinary. But extraordinary outcomes come from extraordinary focus or extraordinary focus. And I'm going to need you guys to be focused in on just being willing to present in the train and present and train. I'm looking to have more people in our organization presenting and training than any other organization. I don't want to have a bunch of people who just following, but our job is to teach people to lead and become leaders. Own your own business, own your life, own your business. And that's why I want to have this call. So everything you guys been doing, my trainings normally be based off of where people are, what I know what's necessary, what people need next, keeping your finger on the pulse of the organization. And right now, I know the organization needs this next leap, this next quantum leap of leadership, taking ownership, not waiting for who's going to do the call next. You doing it, you stepping up. Because this coming week, guys, is gonna be a show and prove week. When we get to that smart shit week, a lot of great things gonna happen. I need you guys being ready for what comes next, because it's been a month already that a lot of you guys been in getting some things together, learning and being on calls. It don't take 4 and 5 months to go through the same thing. Now it's gonna be, I need a lot of you guys really jumping into this next space, into this next level. Are you with me? Am I making sense? So I wanted to give you guys that today, guys, because again, as I'm in this radical imbalance and I'm accepting, I'm taking it on, I'm like, yo, I asked for this. When I ask for it and the universe give me things, I'm sure when they show up, I can't go, well, I can't do it, because no, it's going to be a part of what we do. It's a part of the imbalance. And you have to say it's okay. Before I end the call, to have any leader have any last minute comments, statements, anything you want to share, anything you want to share about what I talked about, anything that we want to share about what this means to you in this call today. And that should be where everybody's unmuting their mics at the same time.
Hi, Coach.
Hey, what's going on, lady?
Hey, hey. Yeah, so I'd like to say thank you for another amazing leadership session. Yeah, so this is really good because I'm always in my head. I'm sure a lot of other people are like that too. But just as an example, when Coach AB, like I hosted for her the other day, for us the other day, and it was half an hour before the actual presentation. And so she asked me to, come on and host. Now I was in my mind, I didn't plan it, but when you say, okay, be okay with being imbalanced, or being taken quote unquote off guard, stay ready to be ready and just go with the flow. When she asked me, normally I would have been like, oh my gosh, da, 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 last minute, da, da. But she asked, I said, okay, I did it, and it was so easy. Like I find that a lot of times we're too much in our head. We're thinking too much of, oh, how's it going to be? I got to be this way. It's got to be said that way. But when you just go with the flow, it's already in us, because of course we have an amazing coach leader. It just flows. So all I like to say is that just as it comes, just go with the flow.
Yes, well, I appreciate you for just sharing that right there. And that means a lot and exactly right. Just be willing to go with the flow. You got everything on the inside already. Anybody's got anything they want to share before we're done with the call tonight?
Yes, yes, yes. Before somebody else step up, I just wanted to say thank you, Coach. Very informative, very much so needed for myself. She have definitely hit it on the head when she said staying in your head. I am an overthinker and I'm learning daily not to overthink things, not to overthink the process. I must say one-on-one calls with you is very vital. It's necessary, it's needed to know more about things when it comes to TLC, and just even to tap into the awareness and knowing that whatever it is that we are doing, it's already inside of us. It will just have to be unlocked, and you just have to stay self-aware. My favorite gem for tonight, though, is my radical imbalance will attract the radical results. That right there is so powerful. Definitely throwing that in the chat, and I'm following that each and every day. It's nothing like just taking the gems and applying it, to our everyday life, and just don't let it just be words that we hear. Actually let that action apply within our everyday life. So thank you so much for just always showing up and just also telling us how important it is to be a leader. You have to show up to and step up. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for sharing that as well. And we had a great session. That's what I tell people all the time. Those one-on-one sessions. Matter of fact, we was talking and you was like, say that again. I'm like, I can't, because that was just for you. When I say things at that moment, it's because it's a call for you. I can't, it ain't me, it's the universe. When I have a download, I always tell people, so I'm telling all you guys, if I have a one-on-one with you, hit the record on your own phone, because whatever comes out is for you. And I normally, you say, can you say that again? I have to go from my imagination, come back here to earth and be like, what I say, I don't know. And then I have to try to make something up. It ain't the same thing. So I recommend you just hit record. Like I've been telling people for years, just hit record. When I tap in, I'm looking up and I'm going to the imagination and I'm plugged into the universe, it's going to be exactly what you need for yourself in order to succeed. So I appreciate you for sharing that, young lady. Anybody else before we're done? Great. Let me see here. I see somebody trying to get in. Okay, guys, good stuff, guys. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who logged into tonight's call. It has been an amazing call, because these calls get me going as well. It's not just for you, they're for myself as well. Sometimes they're a reminder for myself. Sometimes it's to shift some things for myself, but also a lot of times, sometimes I have a thought at the moment of inception of the call, and that thought is what's necessary and needed at the moment based on what was happening. So I know this call was necessary because I need leaders to be at this next level. But I appreciate God just allowing this to flow the way it flows. The universe to give me these downloads, because you can have this. It works the same way for you. No matter whether you're a universe person, spiritual person, if your focus is God, whatever it is you have, everybody taps into the same spatial awareness of the universe. That inside of each and every one of us, guys, as I always say, are the cellular memories of generations of survivors and fighters, and those who have died and those who would not die, in order for us to be free. We have a chance, guys, to do something magnificent, to change the world on a grand scale, to give opportunities to people who don't know what opportunity is. This thing that we're doing is bigger than us. It's about those who don't have the ability to foster their imagination to create a new situation, because they've been denied the fundamental properties of hope that resides inside of each and every one of us, that dares to dream a bigger dream. And most people don't know how to have hope. They live in a constant state of hopelessness. And we have an ability to do something to help people stand on the platform of hope. And hope is the only thing that's stronger than fear. And as I always say, fear is the most difficult thing to overcome, because we've been hardwired to remember fear best. And it's easy to run back to fear. But as we always say, just have the courage to be a leader, have the courage to lead, have the courage to get the presentation, have the courage to say, yes, I'm going to present. Don't worry about nothing else. Just have the courage, because courage is having fear and doing it anyway. I love each and every one of you guys. I promise you, my mother taught me to. You guys have an amazing new you. You guys have a great night. Mr. Mike, say good night, everybody. See you
Good
guys soon.
night. Love you
Night.
too.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.